Ever tried making a long AI animation only to find your characters look totally different halfway through? It's so frustrating, right? That happens because everyone skips a key step before they even start prompting. So I'm going to show you how to build a reference library first, so your animation actually looks consistent from start to finish. For this video, we are using Higgsfield. The first thing to build is the art style mood board, and this has to happen before anything else. Collect 3 to 5 screenshots from one existing animation, film, or show that captures the exact look you want. All your screenshots need to come from the same show and the same season. That is because GPT Image 2 looks at every image you upload and picks up the style from each one. So find your show, go to the episodes that have the exact look you want, and take your screenshots from there. For this animation, I go with To Be Hero X, a Chinese donghua, specifically the first 7 episodes. I go to Higgsfield, open the image model, and select GPT Image 2. Now I upload all the screenshots at once. Then the prompt I use is this. What comes back is one image that locks in the entire visual language for the project, the lighting, the colors, the shadow depth, the mood. For this one, it comes back as a dark, moody, cel-shaded 3D image, deep shadows, blue and purple neon accents, cinematic framing. And with the mood board keeping our art style consistent, let's go ahead and build out the story. If you haven't signed up to Higgsfield yet, the link is in the description so you can follow along and not miss any details. This step covers 2 things, the story and the character sheets. The story comes first because without the story, you have no idea who even needs a character sheet, what they should be wearing, or what they actually do in the animation. So start with the concept, and when you write it, keep everything visual. For this one, I keep it really simple. A businesswoman goes to a deal and it falls apart. Once you have the concept, open up Claude or Gemini and drop it in. It takes that concept and builds it into a scene-by-scene story with clear visual descriptions for each part. Here is the template I use. What comes back is a 3-part cinematic short called The Deal. The first part is the boardroom setup. I sit on the sofa and meet Gunter, a massive cybernetic enforcer, while Leah stands behind me. Then the deal breaks down. The lackeys raise their weapons. Gunter blows out the ceiling, and we end up trapped underground with him standing right in front of the only exit. The last part is the takedown and the escape. Back in Higgsfield and GPT Image 2 still selected, I'll create my own character. Every character gets a 4-panel character sheet in the mood board art style, front, 3/4, side, and back. The reason you need all 4 angles is that Cdance prompts describe specific camera positions, and if an angle is missing, the AI just makes something up to fill it. For my character, the first generation gives me a clean 4-view sheet of myself in the art style. Then I take that sheet and run it again, this time switching the outfit to a business look. And here are both prompts I use. This is what I put for myself. Long blonde hair, dark navy business suit, purple blouse. For original characters, you just write a visual description and generate with only the mood board. Here is the prompt, and here's the result. Short dark bob, round glasses, dark charcoal suit, white blouse buttoned all the way up, timid posture. Now for Gunter. His whole design is built around one visual, the red glowing cybernetic eye. It is what I use with the tasers at the end, so it needs to stand out and stay recognizable in every single scene he appears in. That is the rule with original characters. Pick one strong visual that runs through the whole story and build the design around it. And here's what comes back. A massive frame, a fully mechanical left arm, a red glowing cybernetic eye, a scarred bald head, and a long dark military coat. Now for the lackeys, they are all just one character model that gets copied across every scene with Gunter's crew. You just reuse the same sheet in every prompt they show up in. And honestly, characters like this are the easiest to keep consistent, because there is nothing on their face that can accidentally change between generations. Here is the prompt. Smooth matte black full face mask, dark suit, white shirt, black tie. Every character sheet goes into every scene prompt where that character shows up, even if they are only in the background for 2 seconds. So all 4 characters are done, but the reference library is only halfway there. Every location they move through and every prop they touch needs its own reference file too, and missing just one of those breaks the consistency just as badly as a missed character tag. So here is how you build the rest of it. Every location and every prop that shows up in more than one clip gets its own reference file for the same reason the characters do. The AI starts each generation with no memory of what it built before. If the boardroom is not tagged, it just builds a new one. Locations only need one image each. Props need multiple views because they get picked up, opened, aimed, and handled from different angles across the scenes. Every prompt in this step tags only the mood board, and every prompt ends with no text. For every location prompt, you want to cover 3 things: what the space looks like overall, the key furniture or features that actually show up in the scenes, and the specific lighting, color, and mood. That is what gives the AI enough to lock the space so it stays consistent every time you tag it. For this animation, there are 4 locations. The boardroom shows up in parts 1 through 4. Dark high-rise corporate boardroom at night, floor-to-ceiling windows with the city skyline behind, conference table at the center, sofa on the left, cold blue light bleeding in from outside. And this is what comes back. Everything looks exactly how I described it in the prompt. The corridor shows up in parts 5 and 6. Long dark corporate corridor with blue and purple neon strip lighting along the floor and a staircase door at the far end. Again, it matches the prompt really well. The staircase also shows up in parts 5 and 6 as Leah and I go down. Multi-flight industrial staircase, cold emergency lighting from above. Exit door at the bottom. It looks really great. The harsh cold lighting really adds to the cinematic feel of the staircase. The underground floor shows up in parts 7 through 10. Concrete columns, exposed ceiling beams and pipes, dim emergency lighting, exit door at the far end. Again, it looks exactly like what I imagined when I wrote the prompt. Now I'll create 3 props based on the concept, the case, a railgun, and a laser blaster. Here's the prompt for the case, which shows up in parts 1, 2, and 3. The sheet needs to have an open view specifically because of part 2, where Gunter opens the case and the blue glow from inside lights up his face from underneath. Without an open view on the sheet, Seedance has nothing to reference for what the inside looks like, and it just makes something up. Here's what comes back. A closed exterior, an open interior with blue glowing tech components casting light upward, a side view closed, and a 3/4 open angle with the glow hitting the table surface below. Next, the railgun shows up in parts 7, 8, and 9. The big visual moment in part 7 is the railgun charging up, so the reference sheet includes a close-up panel of the barrel with electricity running along it. That way, Seedance has something to actually reference when it generates that shot. Here's the railgun, a full weapon with a massive industrial frame, blue energy chamber along the center, and a close-up panel of the electricity crawling along the barrel as it charges. The last prop is the laser blaster, which shows up in parts 3 to 6. And here's the laser blaster. In my opinion, it really nailed the sci-fi look. That is everything in the reference library. Every single one goes into every scene prompt where it appears, and without that, 10 separate generations just look like 10 separate videos. Now I go into Higgsfield, open the video tab, and select Seedance 2.0. Let me walk you through part 7 so you can see how all of this plays out. We sprint off the staircase onto the concrete floor and I can see the exit door right ahead. Then I stop because something feels wrong. I throw my arm out in front of Leah, and then the ceiling between us and the exit just explodes downward. Gunter crashes through and lands right in the middle of the floor, straightens up to full height and completely blocks the exit. He draws the railgun. Blue electricity starts crawling along the barrel as it charges. You can see the energy building along it, and then it cuts to my face. For the first time in the whole animation, I look genuinely scared. Whatever energy the scene has needs to be in the prompt, because that is what comes through in the output. So click generate, and here's the result. Oh shit. The camera directions are fast and aggressive, the cuts are sharp, and the audio builds toward the railgun charge. Once all 10 clips are generated and downloaded, there is one step left. I open CapCut and import all 10 clips, dropping them onto the timeline in order from part 1 through part 10. Every cut between clips is a hard cut. The only exception is the very end of part 10, which fades to black. I go through each clip and trim any rough frames at the start or end. Then I'll add background music underneath the whole thing. It builds through parts 1 to 3, gets loud and intense through parts 4 to 8, then pulls back for parts 9 and 10. On top of the music, I place 4 sound effects: the warning shot blast in part 4, the laser barrage in part 8, the electric discharge in part 10, and the exit door impact at the end of part 10. Finally, I'll export the video. And here's the final result.
So you got what I asked for?
Check it out for yourself.
This isn't what I asked for.
It's equivalent. Better, actually.
go now! Stay down! How did you? Never mind. Let's go!
There's nowhere to go. This building is sealed. You're smart, Issa. Too smart to run.
Phew, that was close.
The whole workflow runs through Higgsfield. If you want to build your own AI animations, the link is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.